What up? Alright, so peak game, put your thing in caps on. We locked in on this one. Alright. I was doing a little scrolling on TikTok, right? Because I want to give you the background. I was doing a little scrolling on TikTok and I come across this post where they're talking about anime main characters and they're comparing, and the comparison was Goku and Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. Two very different characters. They have nothing in common. They got nothing in common but a brother. But the dude, he picks Edward as the better main character. I'm like, okay, preferences. Go in the comments, people saying Goku is a bad main character because of how he's not a deep character. He's not very complex. He's not very, what's the word I'm looking for? He's very shallow is what they're saying. I'm like, okay, slow your fucking roll. This is where the disconnect starts to make a play. Because in my opinion, what I want to talk to you today about is the fact that you don't need to be the most deepest character to be a great main character. So I want to ask you, what do you think makes a good main character? And you can drop that in the comments when you watching this video. You can drop that. What do you think plays a part? I think the main thing about what makes a good main character, and this is a very obvious thing, is that how they interact with their verse. How that character and their personality, their morals, plays a part in people's lives throughout their verse. Because on one end, I can say that, oh, Goku, he isn't the most complex character ever. He isn't. But for the story of Dragon Ball, that works perfectly. A character like Eren Yeager will not make a good main character for Dragon Ball, simply because of the type of story that Dragon Ball is. The type of things that happen in Dragon Ball, Eren type of character is not needed. You feel me? But in the same way, I've seen stories, plenty of stories, where there have been great world building, great side characters with their journeys and everything, but the story gets ruined because the main character is not keeping up. The main character doesn't have the same level of writing, where the author probably tried to make this character some very deep some deep person, but it felt like an oversaturation of what that character actually needed to be. A Yusuke will not work in Code Geass. A Yusuke character will not work in Code Geass. So you see the discrepancies between those two type of characters, where you have, let me give an example of, we can hop out of anime, because I don't only watch anime. We can hop out of anime and we could go, let's look at Doom. Let's look at Paul Atreides, right? Because a lot of main characters, in my opinion, the argument of Goku was that, oh, he's a very bland character. He's just a very copy and paste shonen type of main character. He's the blueprint of it, and he is. But in that type of logic, a lot of y'all favorite characters run off the same tropes that they got from one of the OGs. Brother, evil father, dead mother, sick mother, inner demon, anger issues, terrible childhood, trying to find peace within themselves, but has a bad outlook on the rest of the world around them. But eventually that outlook is getting twisted by some character. So now that character, and they lose that character that helps that outlook come into their mind. So now they're trying to spread that awareness across everyone else. I just described Vinland Saga, Vagabond, Berserk probably. I didn't read too much of Berserk. I'm gonna finish it eventually. I just described a lot of stories though with that. But then we also have, oh, this character, he had always had this opposing outlook where he felt like he was he was bigger than the world around him, but he never had a method to really get his point across. But now that he has this method to get his point across, he concocts this plan. So now he's trying to affect the entire world by his own volitions. Death Note and Code Geass, right there. Like, you feel me? A lot of y'all characters survive off the main tropes. So when we get into stories like Dune, where Paul Atreides is going with the whole child of prophecy trope, which is one of the most popular tropes ever, but it never missed. But the thing that I will give Paul Atreides, and keep in mind, I didn't read the books. Don't get on me about this. I didn't read the books. Only watch the movies. I will read the books, and I will make a video when I read the books. But right now, we're just talking about the movies. Paul, his author spun it, which is why Paul is so great, because he's going with the prophecy. A lot of characters, when they go with the prophecy, they have this inner conflict where, oh, I don't want my fate to be written by what someone else says. I'm going to go against, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do this. Or when they go with the prophecy, it's like they don't want to, but they feel like they had to. Paul, he kind of does it, but at the same time, he doing this shit for the love of the game. It's that revenge story, and he doing it for the love of it. So it's like, yeah, Paul did it good, but just because, okay, we have this prophecy character, now let's look at Yusuke Urameshi, another child of prophecy, but at the same time, Yusuke went against it, right? But Yusuke's whole character isn't centered around being a child of prophecy. It's not too layered, but his whole thing is that he always felt like he was different from the world around him. He just couldn't find his place. Where he, in like one of the final episodes in the Four Kings arc or whatever, he's in this fight and the dude is like, something's weighing on you more than this fight. I shouldn't be beating you right now. What is going on? And he's like, I don't know what I'm fighting for anymore. I've always fought to save other people. Shisui wanted me to kill him. Toguro wanted me to kill him. But now, what am I doing this for? Like, Yusuke, that was his whole thing. But his prophecy was that he was supposed to be the heir to the demon world. And even when he got on that throne, he still felt like that wasn't him. So we have two characters of child of prophecy. Are you going to tell me that Atreides is a better character just because his route for going the way he went was different from Yusuke's? Here's a quote for you, and this is a Zai original, and you can take this to the heart, and you can take that heart to the grave with you when you kick the bucket eventually. The quote is, why are we worried about the movement as long as the motion is coming? Why are we worried about the movement as long as the motion is coming? We should not care about the movement. Don't knock the movement, because just like with the child of prophecies, okay, boom, let me double back to Goku, because I'm really mad about what y'all saying about Goku. Y'all not finna keep doing this to my nigga. But Goku, his character, this is why I know. Let me wait. I'm gonna say something crazy. I was trying to go off, but with Goku, he's like Dragon Ball, from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Toriyama did a great job of making Goku feel like the symbol of peace, but not feeling like a hero. Goku is not a moral hero. He's not someone that's going out his way to try to save the world. He's someone that's on an adventure. He's going with his own whims. He's doing his own thing. It's just that his personality, his type of character, the whole whimsicalness of his character, the innocentness, the pureness of his heart is having an effect on the people around him. That's why Vegeta was such a great side character, because he was able to bounce off of Goku. That's why Piccolo made the comeback that he did. The evolution, y'all talk about Vegeta, the evolution of Piccolo going from who he was as the Demon King, got to the Buu Saga and he's playing babysitter. That's a journey in and of itself. In the stopping gap, Piccolo meeting the other Namekians for the first time. Piccolo actually finally sealing the deal and fusing with Kami. The whole thing of what he did, it wouldn't have been possible if he didn't run into Goku and had the interaction that he had with Goku. But we can also talk about Tien and his story with Goku and how he got influenced by the innocentness and how Goku showed him the way. But Goku isn't going out his way to try to do these things. But he's also someone who's like, he has a family and he loves protecting his people. That's why in Vegeta's speech where he's like, you're the best, he's like, I wanted to say, I thought that it was the cause of your power was the love for your loved ones. And that definitely does play a part, because it definitely, I've seen enough of that clown smile to know that they mean that much to you. You feel me? That's a bar. But he's also like, it's something else driving you. It's something else that's just pushing you to be, well, the love of the game. It's pushing you to be number one. It's something else. Goku is a protector, but at the same time, it's something there that Vegeta had to see, where he's like, the acceptance that Kakarot, you just have that drive, you just have something going for you that I don't. You have the pureness that I don't have. That was such a great thing for Goku. And even then, Goku giving his life in the Cell arc, where he had this whole thing planned out with Gohan, just for Gohan and Piccolo for Goku and Piccolo, I mean, when Piccolo realizes no, when Piccolo finally says to Goku, yo, Gohan's not a fighter. This was a great plan, but Goku is not you. And Goku having to actually register that, because he wasn't raised in that type of way. Goku was always raised as a natural fighter. You want to talk about depth? Then let's talk about that, my nigga. Let's talk about that. Goku was that great of a character, did all that writing without having to ride on the typical trope of having an evil brother who he had to chase after and had to try and make Raditz this good guy. Do you understand how many other main characters cannot do that? But I'm not knocking that, because when we go off something like that, Dante from Devil May Cry was crazy good all the time. He played good. Inuyasha was also very good. It's nothing wrong with the tropes, but it's also like, don't knock something just because that's not your type of trope. I'm not trying to hate on anybody for saying that they prefer this character over this character. I'm simply trying to get the point across that we need to do our research into what we think actually makes a bad character before we go around and throw that title onto someone. You feel me? Because it's so many things. Because, okay, Goku, that shallow taste, that's not you. All right, I got someone for you. We can hop into Spike Spiegel. We can hop into Vash. We can hop into Vash from Trigun. We can hop into him. We can hop into all these other complex characters. And I can tell you that some of them aren't better than Goku. They try too hard. It's a lot of characters that try too hard, and it's a lot of characters that don't try enough. It's simply how they interact with the world. That's all I'm trying to say. The main character is based upon how they affect others around them. You feel me? I feel like I just talked about a whole lot of nothing for 13 minutes. 30 seconds. I feel like I just talked about a whole lot of nothing, my nigga. But I hope someone watching this doesn't completely give up on me and he's like, ooh, this nigga spin. Someone has tell me if you understood anything that I just said. I really should have wrote all of this down before I made this video, because this is one of them ones where I really should have sat down and wrote my ideas out before I talk, because I know I like to go on tangents. But yeah, y'all let me know. Let me know if I made any sense, my nigga. Like, subscribe, all that goodness. Spread the love. Go pray today. Go tell that girl and that boy that you love them. Go tell them that. Y'all boys stay safe though. I'm out.